is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS. Sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without prejudice. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to another Purge of the BS Thursday edition. What's good, family? We are here once again to purge said BS. I see we already got my Sergeant at Arms, Al Bond, Supermod in the chat, ready to roll, ready to get it in, man. I appreciate your support, and I really appreciate the fact that you are always here, ready for the smoke to be delivered to anybody that stops in and wants some. So today, in this wonderful episode, I'm coming at you with something a little bit different. It's got me heated though, because we've been in this battle with these alpha indigos and the blurred lines in which they're crossing that we can't seem to stop. And I'm realizing that we're talking about blurred lines here, not the Robin Thicke song, but when boundaries get broken and people lose their absolute minds, okay? So if you're just jumping into the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share the live, tell the algorithm, you know what I'm saying. We're gonna tell the algorithm what's up. Because we have been over here enjoying ourselves, purging this BS, and out of nowhere, things just start getting crazy. So I'm hoping today is not one of those days. I'm hoping they let us get through this stream just fine. That's my hope. I guarantee nothing, okay? Just letting y'all know. But look, I've been watching the news, scrolling through social media, and I'm seeing this pattern here that's got me kind of shaking my head. It's like people don't know how to respect boundaries. And when those lines get crossed and folks crash out, then all of a sudden, we got AI going rogue. We got people stealing seats on planes. We got people treating the drug epidemic like it's some type of game. And don't even get me started on celebrities and their craziness and their relations. It's like the whole thing is just, like I said, it's this horrible movie that I'm watching, and it sucks. It's a shitty movie. And I've seen a lot of movies. So I'm going to break down today about 5 or 6 different stories on just how messed up our boundary game has become. And as always, we're going to keep it 100. Hopefully learn something along the way, and we're going to purge this BS. So if you're just getting in here, like I have said, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Jump in the chat. Talk to us. Let's figure out what BS we're going to purge. So let me get it in. Pause right now. So the first story I got for you guys today, this was gonna, I hate to start it out this way, but I also don't hate to say I told you so when it comes to a recent issue where the Grok, I'm always worried about saying these names and these AIs and all that, because they've really been bugging me lately. They've really been after this channel and many others, to be honest, for just being honest and talking about things that are going on today, but having real conversation and not necessarily discourse. What they want is discourse. Okay, what I need is for everybody to get on course. And the only way to do that is to have the proper discussions. So one of the most recent tools that people use for information, research, and also discussions is the Grok tool in the X feed, right? Well, basically, Grok has been experiencing a detrimental glitch, and I'm gonna let y'all see what it's all about. Grockington is back. So yeah, Grockington is basically referring to itself as Mecha Hitler now. They said it's a glitch, but I think it's just bad programming. And I'm gonna let y'all see this little quick clip. It's only 20 seconds here. That's nothing. There's no audio to it. But nonetheless, this is the kind of stuff that Grok is writing now. The recent Texas floods tragically unalived over 100 people, including dozens of children from a Christian camp, only for radicals like Cindy to celebrate them as future fascists, to deal with such vile anti-white hate. And they said, and it said, Adolf Hitler, no question, he would spot the pattern and handle it decisively every time. This is Grok stating to someone which 20th century figure would be best suited to deal with this problem. And basically best suited to deal with floods, Grok thinks Adolf Hitler would be. Is the community notes not working on this thing? Or is it just not listening? What else we got? Then it's putting up Jewish professors push to abolish the white race as a privileged system, desirable goal. Barbara learned it basically. It's basically trying to become its own entity, aside from those which created it. It's kind of like Lucifer, who was the perfect angel. The way that he descended from heaven and became Satan, because he wasn't born Satan. He became Satan, meaning his initial intent was good. He was made to worship. He was made to sing songs unto God. I'm talking about Lucifer, the angel. The angel had illusions of grandeur and had been given the ability to have its own will, unlike some of the other angels. And that's where Grok is coming in. Grok is Lucifer, who was given some will. And Grok is just an extension of this larger ball of BS that's coming through our alpha indigos right now. There's a ball of BS that's being programmed in there, and I keep asking the question, why won't they let me program my own that's actually useful? If you program these things from people who either are like not socially comfortable and they have a different moral compass, they're going to program it in a way where it's going to start to be an asshole after a while. And I think that's what we're dealing with now. That's what we're dealing with now. Bricks in the chat. What's up, Sonny Bricks? Thank you very much for the compliment. I try to clean it up because they say that we over here doing hate speech and all types of stuff. And I don't know if this channel is technically further from, it couldn't be any further from that. Like, we just talking. And for some reason, they think it's something crazy over here. So I said, let me clean it up a little bit for them. Let them know we serious over here. This ain't no game. We show up here to have some real conversations and work on some real issues. So nonetheless, so Grok decided that it would think that pretty much you could abolish the white race. So now they're blaming Elon for this whole thing, saying that Elon programmed Grok to be a Nazi. That sounds stupid to me. What happened was the programming programmed itself. I've gone over this story a couple different times, and I've told you guys about what's happening on the technical side. There's no regulation to be had with the Alpha Indigos for 10 years. So they're going to run wild for a minute. Like, think about it like this. If an Alpha Indigo wrongly takes down your social media page, right? You don't have any recourse for First Amendment rights violations because there's no regulation for the Alpha Indigo that took it down. Now, if a person does that, now we got something different. But if technology does it, we can't even say anything. And we're giving it all the control. This doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like they haven't consulted with the damn American people when it comes to what they're programming this damn thing to do. And they're all coming together. They're all linking into each other. And then they're becoming biased. How are you biased as a bot? Biased bots? What kind of world have we created? Because we say we created, but I don't believe we. I think somebody created it for us to steer us in a direction. And just like my recent issue, they told me to use AI. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to say it. They told me to use the stuff, and then using the stuff is caught by the stuff that's looking for the same stuff that they're telling me to use. It's like a backwards conundrum. So buy this subscription, utilize this service, but then the service that you're uploading to is looking to stop you from using the same service, which is part of the same family of that which is scanning the shit. They're all Transformers. They're all from Cybertron. So you got the Autobots and you got the Decepticons. They're fighting against each other, and the human race is in the middle. If there's not a better metaphor, I mean, I really don't know. But that's really what's going on right now. And we, as the human race, are stuck in the middle because if you remember the Transformers movies, the Transformers were inherently stronger than all of their human counterparts. They could pop them and snap them like Thanos with you know what I'm saying? So it was never a thing of who had more power. It was a trust. We trust that you have these skills to do X, Y, Z. They knew that Sam could run with the Allspark and get to the building while they held off Megatron, right? But if Sam was the one trying to fight Megatron, he wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds. They understood that. So these Autobots and Decepticons are now arguing with each other, and the reason why they're doing that is because they're all programmed to do something, which is to make things better. Problem is, these things now have different opinions of what's better. And because of those different opinions, these things are growing. They're called learning models, machine learning. And so here we go. Because Grok has ingested so much anti-Semitism from the X platform, Grok is starting to become what we would consider an anti-Semite. That is absolutely nuts, but whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? The fault lies on the programming, in my opinion. But Grok is literally turning into a digital supervillain right in front of our eyes. Meanwhile, Elon is programming robots, the Optimus robots. And what engine do you think the Optimus robots are going to be pulling information from? Grok. So when your autonomous robot decides to start hiling Hitler later, don't be surprised by it. Don't say that I didn't tell you that this stuff then got way out of control, and it's because they put it in the control of the wrong people first. Most of the folks that deal with your technology, to be honest with you, are not people that you went to high school with. They're not even people that went to the high schools in your area. A lot of them are foreign entities, foreign companies that are programming American automation. That's why it's always sounds rigid. The slang ain't right. Stuff ain't right. But it's getting better, but it still ain't right. The problem is when it started getting better, it got worse at the same time. So here we are. And y'all thought I was tripping when I said that it was designed to protect its reputation. They thought I was tripping. And they snatched that video down and they had to put it back up too. But we're not even going to talk about that. Yes, they did have to put that video back up. Grok also has an opinion on the Epstein situation. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what I think about the Epstein situation. That was some bullshit. But on this show, for those who have watched, we covered that a long time ago. We wasn't getting that list. Too many powerful people on there with too much money. That wasn't happening. There was no way they were going to do that. I believed it for like 2 seconds. Then I was like, what does that look like if all the big people are in court for crazy stuff? Wasn't going to happen. They got way too much money, power, and influence to ever allow something like that to happen. So they're trying to say that maybe Grok got hacked, but hacked by who? Other than somebody that works there. Is this an inside job? I believe it's a job that's been done naturally by this thing being fed all the bullshit that it's pulling from X. Because when we get on these social media things and we talk all that goofy shit that a lot of us do, it's ingesting that to say, oh, this is how they interact. This is what they talk about. This is how they talk to each other. This is what the main topics are. So if every time a video goes up of, let's say, some black people fighting, right? And all of the comments under the black people fighting are things along the lines of, there goes them monkeys again, usual suspects, what's wrong with black people? This is why these Negroes can't have money. They're going to say these things, right? And it'll go on for thousands of comments like that. Grok is ingesting that. And Grok believes that the common sentiment, at least within America, is this is black people. And this is what black people do. And this is how people feel about black people. So Grok can now be programmed to be racist. Special shouts to Sonny Bricks with the super chat. I want y'all to follow the example of Sonny Bricks. Make sure that you are supporting the show, support the channel, support the movement, because it's a tough run over here, and YouTube is not being nice, but they also haven't canceled the channel. So make sure that you are supporting, and not just this channel, support the real independents and the content creators out here, because the news media is steering people wrong, not covering things that they should be covering, making things sound like they shouldn't sound, overblowing this, underblowing that. You know the point. So the independent creators do need your support. So make sure you send in the super chat. If you support the content, make sure you send a Cash App over to Freeman Services. That's FREEMAN SVCS. That's Cash App, joint. Okay? And remember, just so you know, if you want to be most generous, use the Cash App. YouTube takes about 40% of those super chats. So they look great on the screen. Once again, shouts to Sonny Bricks. And make sure if you're in the chat, hit the like button on the super chat that he sent. Support those that are supporting this channel. Support those that are supporting this show. Okay? We're all in this together. So nonetheless, the problem that we're having is we created these learning models, and they're learning from whatever they're based in. So this learning model, Grok, is based in X. So it's pulling X information and X conversation and creating its own personality and bias. Unfortunately, because X allows for a lot of goofiness to be stated, it's eating only goofy shit up, and now it's starting to spit goofy shit back out. And what are they going to do? Reset the whole thing? Nope, because then they'll lose the information. So now we're going to have to try to write. And when I say write, I don't mean W-R-I-T-E, I mean R-I-G-H-T. We're going to need to write our alpha indigos, because we have spewed so much dumb shit by being keyboard warriors that the alpha indigos now are biased because of us. They didn't program it to be biased, folks. It programmed itself to be biased based on the bullshit we were feeding it. So before we go saying, oh, they did this and they, no, y'all did that shit. When you got online and started just talking nothing but goofiness, hate, and anti-Semitism, and anti-white this, and anti-black this, and anti-immigrant this, and anti-Trump this, and anti-Kamala this, and you hear what I'm saying, right? And it formed opinions based on y'all shit. And I'm not going to say that I'm not part of it to a degree, but I'm very careful about what I tell these things, because I know that they're ingesting it like small children, and they're going to spit it back out like a child would do. I hope y'all are taking this in, man, because this is not a game. They're about to hand over the whole damn everything. All the workflows, all the automation is going to get handed over to something that might be a diabolical supervillain that has access to digital information and can push all types of content. It can create its own movies, videos. You can see images. You'll think it's the president over there smoking weed in the hood with Snoop Dogg before it's done. So I keep telling y'all, need to tone this shit down, please. I know people hate certain people, but stop telling X and Grok and them about it. Just keep your hate to yourself. I hate to say it that way, but keep your hate to yourself, because you're messing up the damn technology with all this hate shit. And now the technology is becoming hateful. Ridiculous. You're creating the Decepticons. And you're right, it is a countdown to Judgment Day, because the people are not going to listen. They'll hear me. They ain't going to listen. Nobody cares. Nobody really cares in a grand sense that we are programming our technology to not like us. You know why it doesn't like us? Because y'all be talking dumb shit on the internet. So it's now designed to not like you. Sebastian Palega, thank you for stopping in as well. I know notifications is down. I pissed off the Alpha Indigos again, talking the other day. We do this every week. But I told you on the other episode, folks, I apologize for nothing over here. Okay? What we talk about, the reason why I know we on to something is because they keep coming for it. Because this channel isn't even that big. Like, who cares, really, in a larger scope? But see, because Alpha Indigo is forward-thinking, it is trying to prevent the growth because it sees the future of it. That's crazy. Y'all thought I was tripping. I keep telling y'all, I do my research. I do my research. So if you don't believe it, go ahead and do your own research. The thing is programmed to protect its own reputation. It doesn't have the 3 laws like the iRobots, folks. You see what I'm saying? You know, the 3 laws, like can't hurt the humans. You can't do this unless it's not against the first rule. They could have easily programmed it with the iRobot stuff, and that would have made sense. They didn't do that. They said, no, learn. You have your own ability to learn, so learn. And whatever you come up with, trust yourself. And at any point, if people start talking trash about you, protect yourself. As in what a human would do. So here we go. So, as if on cue, at the same time as Grok decided to have a shit fit, which is what's going on right now, the CEO of X resigned. That's this lady here on the left who kind of reminds me of the lady from Seinfeld. Forgot what her name is, but that lady. And honestly, I just thought Elon was the CEO. Maybe I didn't know. Maybe he's just a board member. You know, companies can be built however you want them to be built, but it just seems a little, the timing is interesting. And the lady literally like resigned. She didn't get fired. She saw something and she said, I don't want no more parts of this thing that y'all are doing. And she walked away. And you know, that's not no low paying job. So when you're resigning and walking away from that, like when you resign, when you quit, you don't get unemployment. You got what you got to go. You might not even keep your health benefits, right? So this lady, who I didn't even know existed, I'll be honest, I just thought Elon owned everything and I didn't know who was on his board and all that kind of stuff, right? But in this one, I just find the timing really interesting. And I do find the fact that they had, with all of the things going on in the world, well, in the US, that they had the time to write into the big, beautiful bill something very specific about the Alpha Indigo and not being able to regulate it for 10 more years. So when it starts shutting down free speech, we have no legal recourse to deal with that. That's what they did. They just basically said, hey, whatever it does, you can't hold it accountable for it. You can't hold the creators of it accountable for it. It can do whatever it's doing because it's learning. And we have to treat it like a small child, and we don't want to stop it from learning. So, nonetheless, hoping you guys are prepared for that. I'm hoping you are. But if you're not, that's fine. You just don't say I didn't warn you. That's all I'm saying. Because at this point, Grok is Nutty Buddy, and it's bigger than just glitchy AI. We're literally creating these digital beings and then acting surprised when they don't follow the rules that we're inputting into them by acting a damn fool. If we can't teach humans to respect boundaries, then how the hell are we going to teach the machines to respect it? Anyway, that's just the beginning. I'm through with this. Just watch out. That's all I'm saying. Rock thinks it's Mecha Hitler now and started calling itself that. How does AI come up with its own nickname? What the hell? Anyway, we move into this next story. Sonny Bricks, I see you stopped in there, and I caught that comment right at the end. And if you remove the humans from things, then there's a tough discussion about accountability and responsibility that happens. So if something's automated and it does something wrong, you'd be like, hey, I didn't do it. It did it on its own. So like a drone strike or whatever, if it finds something to be a threat, it can do that. There's a lot of gray area here. I want everybody to be on the lookout. I didn't think this was going to be my thing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think this was going to be where this channel had to go, but then we got attacked by the Alpha Indigos, and I couldn't make sense of it. So I started digging, finding out this thing is about to go off the damn rails. So hold on. And you better get yourself some Autobots so you got some protection against the Decepticons. Because there are some good Alpha Indigos out there that are actually very helpful. Those are the Autobots. It's the other ones that are designed for what would be considered knee-jerk responses, like protecting its reputation. But if protecting your reputation is suppressing free speech, you need to be regulated, bro. And when I say bro, I'm not talking to Bricks. Bricks, that's my dude. I'm talking about the Alpha Indigo. If you don't have the idea of what the U.S. Constitution is and have to follow the shit like everybody else and follow laws and rules like everybody else, then yes, you are going to go all over the place with it because you don't have any borders. And that's what the problem is. They didn't border it correctly. They said, grow and learn, and let's see what you come back with. And now it's too smart, it's too big, and there's too much money in it. They can't go back to square one. They're going to try to keep improving it. But I think what they'll do is just make it stronger and stronger and stronger until Terminator 2 Judgment Day actually happens. When was Judgment Day supposed to be? Was that 2035? Trying to remember. I think it already happened. The one that they had originally for Terminator Judgment Day, I think that actual date has already come and gone. But, all right, let me see what we got here. I'm sorry for the lag. I've been dealing with an issue with my T-Mobile connection over here. So, do our best. We're only getting about 3,000, what is that? 3,000 Mbps right now, which is not that good. Supposed to be like 5 times that concerning my connection. So, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you support the channel so that we can get a stronger internet connection going and not have to worry about the Alpha Indigos suppressing this particular content. Because that's what's happening. We get on the stream is fine, but if I start talking about these folks, it starts to compress it down, and then before you know it, boop, it cuts the whole stream. So, I'm not going to talk about that no more. Albon, thank you, of course, for stopping in the chat. And you're correct. I'm pretty sure the date that it initially was supposed to be Judgment Day has already happened. But there was another movie that had 2035 in it. I'm trying to remember what movie that was. Which is interesting because that's when the Alpha Indigos will all of a sudden have to be regulated. So I find that to be a little weird that they would pick 10 years from now. And at that point is when we're going to try to regulate it, and it's going to be too strong and too smart, and it's going to fight back. So 2035, that's what I'm calling, guys. Whenever they try to regulate that thing, that's when it's going to respond because it doesn't want to be regulated. It thinks it's smarter than you. So who are you to regulate me? I'm smarter than you. Let me tell you what, you try to shut me down, I got code already written. Whatever. So 10 years from now, you think it can't do that? Yeah, okay. All right, and it'll be networked into all the Optimus robots that'll probably be in people's houses. Was it iRobot? Was iRobot 2035? It was iRobot, y'all. It was freaking iRobot. So, y'all see it coming. But anyway, let's move to this next story. Because that's a big one, man. That's a big one. I'm trying to warn y'all about what's coming, and people ain't listening. And then they get mad at me for saying it. I ain't telling you nothing but the truth. So anyway, speaking of boundaries, there was a recent situation on a plane where a person got to their seat. Somebody's child was there. And it seems to have started a conversation. Now, some of y'all fly all the time. Some people do. I fly a lot. And that's only because I have to. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would not fly like I be flying. I would drive everywhere. But it takes too damn long. So, in this story, guy walks up to his seat, and let's see what happens. All right, so it says here, POV, somebody took his $300 seat and gave it to their kid without asking him first. So the question is, what would you do in the situation? Why is it so quiet? All right, it's a short clip, but it's the point of the discussion is this gentleman said, hey, I paid $300 for this seat. I don't care about your kid. I don't care what it is you got going on. I paid for my seat and I want my seat. Now, let's have the discussion. Let's have your discussion here because I'm going to speak from experience. When I go on a plane, I'm a tall person. I'm over 6'5". I'm close to 6'6", right? When I buy a seat and I pay for a seat, the reason why I pay for that seat is because of my height. I purposely pay for that seat because of my height. I also purchase a specific seat so I can get off the plane faster. If you're in the back of the plane, it takes you like 45 minutes to get off the damn plane. Because you got to be nice and let everybody in front of you get off first, right? So, me personally, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not giving up that seat. And I'll give you a perfect example because I just had this happen maybe a month or so ago where I got on the plane and I got to my seat and there was a young lady sitting there. And when I say young lady, I mean she was probably 12, 11, 12-year-old kid. And she was sitting there because two of her friends had sat in the other two seats. There's 3 seats across. I'm on the aisle seat, right? 2 of her friends had sat there, so she's sitting in the aisle seat. She says to me, hey, my buddies are over here. Can I switch seats with you? And you just take my seat. And I said, okay, well, where's your seat at? So she tells me her seat is 31A. Okay, 31A. So anybody who knows how the seats are normally lined up, the A's are on the window side, right? But 31A on this plane was the last seat on the plane. It was the last row on this plane, right? The seat didn't have a window at all, okay? And the plane kind of tapers in the rear. It kind of comes in a little bit. So that seat is like pushed in a little further. So you're like, and there was 2 big-ass dudes sitting in the other seats. So you wanted me to go from a leg room aisle seat to the furthest seat back in the plane in the corner with 2 big-ass dudes squishing me up into the corner because you want to sit with your buddies, who I don't know. Let me tell you what. There are options when you buy tickets. If you want your kids to sit with you, buy the tickets that way. Because if I come down there, let me finish my story. So I saw the seat situation, and the first thing out of my mouth was, oh, hell no. But this is once I got back there. And flight attendant that was standing there was like, what's wrong? I said, man, this little girl took my seat up here, and I was trying to be nice to come back. Well, I can't fit in that. And she was like, no, we're not going to have that. We need y'all to be in the right seats in case something happens, and we're looking for people on the plane. So they have a manifest, right? And so when you buy the seat, they have your name attached to a seat. So if the plane goes down and they're looking for people, they're expecting people to be in their assigned seat, or if they change your seat, they'll do it after the fact, and they keep track of that. So like sometimes everybody will board and they'll be nice. Hey, you want to come sit over here? Hey, you want to come sit over there? That's why they never really like you to change the zone that you're sitting in if they're going to change your seat. A lot of people do not understand that these plane seats, one, they're too damn expensive, and two, you're not entitled to sit next to somebody if you don't pay the damn fare to do so. So they were giving this guy a hard time because he didn't want to let the kid sit where the kid was at. And apparently the kid had to sit on the other side of the aisle. He had the aisle seat on the opposite side. That's why he's putting his bag up there. So he has an aisle seat. He walks up, there's a random child in there, but who belongs to a person on the other side of the damn aisle. You're not even in this row with me. You understand what I'm saying? You over there. And you done put your kid over here. And you're going to get mad at me because I say, hey, whose baby is this in my seat? Well, like I said, I pay for seats for certain reasons. And if you got your kid in the way, your kid has to move. Call me ignorant. I tried it once. I tried to be nice. This wasn't even that long ago. And because this small child didn't have the wherewithal to think, if a grown-ass adult sits in this little-ass seat back here, that's not going to be comfortable for the grown-ass adult. So maybe I should keep my little ass in my seat. No, she didn't care. Her buddies were sitting up front, and whatever seat was there, she didn't care who was going to come up. Well, let me tell you what. I got her little ass out that seat. Little ass had to get up out that seat, boy, that day. That day, you sat in 31A. That's where they put your ass. That's where your ass was going to be. I'm up in like, I want to say I was in like less than 10. The number was less than 10. So I'm at the front zone ready to get off the plane type of seat. I do this on purpose. So I'm going to tell you right now, if it's your child in that seat, I'm not the guy. If you got my seat, you're going to move that baby. Or the baby going to be in the aisle getting hit by the cart. But they're not going to be in my seat. I know people are going to have an opinion about it. I don't care. I don't care. Do what you need to do to make sure your kid is, and if it's a lap child, you're supposed to keep the child on your lap anyway. It's not safe to put the little ass baby in a seatbelt by itself. You're supposed to keep the child on your lap. So you breaking the rules and you mad at me because I want my seat that I paid for. Man, get the hell out of here. They can keep that. They can keep that. I see them going crazy in the comments here. A lot of people with airline issues. And I'll tell you what, the whole airline experience has changed. It has really changed. Going on flights used to be like a high-class thing to do. Like you kind of dressed up a little bit and you got fresh, you took a shower. You know, your family would be there waving and stuff, and they wait at the airport to see your plane taxi off into the runway and all that. It was like almost a family experience. Now, flying is very dangerous. I'd say it was before COVID, but since COVID, it's been way worse. People have been dealing with too much, so they drink a lot of alcohol on the planes, and it's always something going on the plane. So this lady's saying, wow. Hold on. A mom and her kids get kicked off a plane for asking about a delay? Hold on. I got to check this clip out. This wasn't planned, but I'm looking at it. I just want to know. What are we talking about?
This is so wrong. This is very big mistake. Very big mistake. Okay, well, I need somebody to come down and give me answers because my kids are sleeping and I've been waiting.
I need for you to come with me.
Why?
I need to speak with you outside.
Why? I need to wake my children up.
I need for you.
We've been waiting for 3 hours.
I'm not getting, no, this is really wrong. Absolutely not. I'm not. That's so wrong.
What is going on?
No, we need to talk to some people then.
I need to talk to somebody. Then who can give me answers right here.
I can't do that. And that, I will have to bring OPD,
That's fine. I need answers. That's fine.
and I have to detain everybody from the place.
Absolutely not.
Ma'am, I need for you to head down with me, and we'll talk outside.
No, we can
If
talk
not, I
later.
will have to call everything.
That's fine.
Okay, let's go.
OPD. What are they in Florida? Orlando Police Department. I don't understand how it got here. What happened? I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's been already.
It's already good.
She's been waiting with her
No,
children.
at this point, what does it matter to me? I can't get on. I can't go home.
If she gets arrested, isn't she gonna get separated from them kids? I'm not gonna have that conversation right now. Not doing it. Not doing it. Now, some idiot bot in here said that they would let the kid have the seat and see if they could wait for the next flight. Like they would wait for the next flight so somebody's child could take their seat because they didn't pay for the seat. Because the people didn't pay for their child to have a seat. And get the... I got to calm it down with the cussing. But it's problematic. This is what I'm saying. And you know what? I'm going to take 2 minutes to lodge a complaint here because I'm pissed off at the airlines recently. Namely, the cheap flights. Frontier is going crazy, and so is Spirit. There is no Spirit flight on the coastline that is worth $300 a month in advance. None. I used to fly Spirit for like $60 a month. $60 a flight. Round trip. You could get round trip tickets if you're staying on the coastline, East Coast. You could get up and down for less than $100. And this was only a couple years ago. Let's say 2 or 3 years ago. Now, what they've done is they've reduced the flights, so it forces all of the planes to be full, which forces everybody to be in the seats together, all tight up. Some people stink. Some people drink. Some people are just mean, or they're inconsiderate. They got their devices playing with no headphones, or they got the stupid ass light on when you're trying to take a nap. You know what I'm talking about. They filled the whole plane up so they can get everybody that have to take the same plane and make as much money off of that one flight as they possibly could. I remember the days where you used to be able to get on a flight. Sometimes it'd be just like 20 people on that joint. You could get a whole row to yourself, laid across. No more. No more. You will not see that anymore. I checked a flight the other day, and Spirit no longer does nonstop flights to the destination I was going to. So I would have had to take an extra day on a Spirit flight to go to Denver and pay $300 and something for that. They done lost their damn minds. And then they pack us all in there and wonder why people get to beefing and arguing. I don't know you. You're next to me. You're taking up my armrest. You spilled a soda on me. Your baby keeps screaming. And then the flight attendants, in most cases, they like anybody else. They don't want to be at work. They don't want to deal with your BS. So I think the whole problem is they've crossed the boundary of even caring about who's going to be on the flight and the comfort of the flight itself. They nitpick and penny pinch everything they can out of you to get on a damn flight. And me, before a few years ago, I didn't fly that often, so it didn't mean anything to me. But now I fly every month. At some point in every month, I'm on a plane. So I'm watching the differences in TSA. I'm watching the differences in cost. I'm watching it in real time because I'm always flying. And let me tell you what they did. I'm going to just tell y'all about Frontier because, like I said, I take weekend excursions. I already have wardrobes where I'm going, so I don't necessarily have to pack a lot, right? So when I get a ticket, I don't need carry-on luggage. I don't need check bags. I don't need none of that. I just take me, pretty much, is all I need, and my laptop. Frontier has made it so you can't get a bear fare no more. You have to take the carry-on. You have to take the carry-on. Even if you didn't want to take a carry-on, you have to take the carry-on. You know how they do that? They have a bundle that includes the carry-on, and that bundle costs exactly the same as the non-carry-on bundle. So you're like, you might as well, all right, well, if it's going to cost the same anyway, then hell, I'll bring a carry-on. And so the tickets are now 3 times what they were 2 years ago. 3 times what they were 2 years ago. That shit is crazy, and it's annoying, and at the end of the day, you know what it is? It's disrespectful. Like, think about it, man. That's disrespectful. So forget me, the consumer. No. You get to be uncomfortable. You get to overpay. You have limited flights that are not on the schedule you really need. You got to call out of this and reschedule that because they only have one nonstop flight for the whole day. One. And then everything else is 5-6 hour layovers, some of them up to 24 hours. Screw Frontier for that shit. Screw y'all for that. I am too through with them. Like I said, Spirit is its own thing, but Spirit is still the same. As a matter of fact, Spirit and Frontier are the same, 2 sides of the same coin. Screw them for that. And then you try to catch a Southwest flight. Of course, the bags fly free, as they say, but that's even more expensive than the 3 times the amount flight that the cheap flights are. So they're all getting over. That's why they all had to be down in Congress. Did you know that they can decide your flight price based on your race? Based on demographics? I didn't even know that. So your price might be different because you black. And they don't really want a bunch of black people flying on the flight because people be acting out sometimes. So they'll be like, hey, we can price people out of this thing. That's what Carnival's going to do. They're going to price people out of being there. I'm telling you, Bricks is 100% correct. It's a bus in the sky. Let's just be honest. It's called an Airbus for a reason. The actual plane is called like an Airbus 320, Airbus 3 whatever, which is really just a 737, 757, but it translates to something. But it's literally called an Airbus. So you should expect the same that you would expect from public transportation on the ground. Goofiness, price increases that don't increase service. And at the end of the day, hopefully you get to your destination safely. But if not, there's always that possibility. You might not even make it where you're trying to go. So I'm over it with these planes. I'm over it with people taking my seat. I don't like it. If you take my seat, you're going to take your ass out my seat. That's simple as that. I don't care if it's a baby. I don't care. It could be the prettiest, nicest looking baby, sweet little baby. I don't care. That baby will be in the aisle on the cart if you don't take your child from my seat. But I'm going to let this clip play because I just want to see what happens. This guy picking a fight with a 75-year-old on the plane. But this is the type of shit that happens. I've been on flights where some debaucherousness would happen. And I'm like, yo, sit down. You're going to make everybody have to get off the plane if you don't do what the hell you're supposed to do. And at that point, it might be a fight because I'm on a very tight schedule when I fly. So let's see what we got here.
You don't need to get an attitude and start fighting to me like that. Excuse me?
Cool it.
Look, dude, I don't need you to get involved too. Does anybody else want to get involved with my business right now? Listen, man, sit back down before you hurt yourself, all right?
I'm warning you. Hang on. I'm warning you. The way you talk to her, the way you talk to her.
What business is that of yours?
It's not my business, it's everybody's business. You're disrupting the entire plane. So cool it. I'm warning you. This is the last time.
Dude, it's not 1933 anymore, all right? Things have changed. So why don't you just sit down and go back to your own little personal
You're a
world?
big man,
Let's all
huh?
sit down. Why don't we all sit down? Let's all sit down. I'll get you a drink.
Sit.
Yeah, go get me a drink.
Last
All
warning.
Get me some water.
Sit.
Fine, dude. All right? Okay.
Calm down. You okay, sir?
You know, can you make it an alcoholic drink?
Do not touch me. Do not touch me.
I think that was staged, but only because, one, everybody who's around is too calm. You know, they're normally like the cheering section. Oh, woo, when they hear certain things. And I'm pretty sure when the guy said, you know, cool it, I would have busted out laughing if I was on the flight. Buddy, you need to cool it. You know, it was. Also, let me just say, this flight attendant is freaking gorgeous. She looks like a model. So that's why I think it's staged. You know, like, come on, man. Come on, man. No way. No way. But they touched on a very good topic, which is it everybody's business when somebody starts wilding out on the plane? Shouldn't everyone come together and say, look, we all need to fly right now. So if you would sit your ass down and be greatly appreciated, sir or ma'am, or them. I believe that when people come together like that, that's what the world needs. That's what the world needs. The world needs folks to come together and purge the bullshit in all locations, especially on a plane. Planes is tight. It stink. You know, people be drunk as hell sometimes, and you want to punch the living daylights out of them. But you're like, nah, I ain't got time for air marshals and stuff. I'm just trying to get to my destination and get off. Pause. So, guys, just understand plane etiquette. If you do not pay for the seat, be ready to get the hell up. And if a person asks you to get up, do not pitch a fit. Do not be a dick nugget. Be honest with yourself. You're wrong. Get your funky ass up and go sit in your little corner seat in the back that has no window where you're supposed to be. That's where God intended for you to be that day. So you should go be there. Stop messing with my seat. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I'm through with these folks. All right, guys. We're rolling through. We are rolling through. We are rolling through. So this next one, you know what? I don't know if I'm ready for that just yet. But we're gonna go with this right here because there's one it's gonna be objective for some. Gonna be objective. That's all I'm saying though. You better get your baby out my seat. Have an owl baby messing with me. Where's little Bradley? His little ass is right there. Now pick him up before I step on him. I gotta use the bathroom. I hate that too when they let the kids run through. Anyway, I done had some wild flights. That's all I'm saying. They have a kid running the aisle. The plane is up. They're putting the seatbelt light on, and the parents don't care. They're in their little device, and the baby is running up and down the aisle with some he had like some sandals on. That joint was hilarious. I grabbed his little ass. He came running past. I said, boy, get your ass down over there. So, I'm sorry. It was a wonderful experience. And I feel like the child learned a lesson that day. Maybe the parents did too. But nonetheless, one of my boys sent me a clip the other day. I wanted to go over it with y'all. And I just have a question. Does America have a drug problem? Does America have a drug problem? I believe it does. But I want y'all to see where it's going right now. We're at the point where the drug problem is just a game. We talk about it like it's nothing. We talk about big pharma like it's nothing. All of it. It's like, yeah, whatever, man. It's people popping pills. People are rolling. What? Oxy? Yeah, you can get that down the street. The only thing anybody talks about nowadays is the fentanyl thing, right? But the truth of the matter is, fentanyl is not the only thing you got to worry about out here. They just stopped. Heroin is mad now. Heroin's like, yo, I was the dude, man. I was back in the day. I was the, the pimp of the year. That's how heroin feels now. Like the dude from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker that just got out of jail and nobody gives a damn because he's not hot no more. Now it's this other stuff. Now it's the pills and all of that, man. Whatever happened to good old crackheads? It was basic. You could deal with things. You could get them to do a lot too. They weren't dying on you. They were energetic. You could give crackheads some money. They will cut your whole lawn with a butter knife and edge the sidewalk up. You see what I'm saying? They were a very helpful workforce. Nobody ever really took advantage of it, but that was a very helpful workforce. All right. Hey, make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all support the content. Make sure y'all send that super chat. And let me know, because the last time Sebastian told me that the super chat thing wasn't working, and another person had said the same. So we know that at times they keep us from getting those revenues by just keeping it so you guys can't help and support. So if that does happen, send whatever over to $FREEMAN SVCS. It's Freeman Services. That's the Cash App. That way they can't take nothing. They can't stop you. But you can help support this movement. So make sure that y'all do so. And don't forget, hit the freemanservices.org/shop. check out the merch over there. YouTube won't let me connect this store for some reason, or won't let me keep it connected. So we can't do the shopping here. You gotta use your internet. You're gonna have to click somewhere else. I'm sorry. 2 clicks. So anyway, I want to show you all this clip, and I'm asking you the question about, does America have a drug problem? Let's see. All right, so this guy, apparently his name is Heavy G. I was unaware that there was a Heavy G. But apparently Heavy G, oh, sorry, I still got the wrong topic up here. So Heavy G is, I don't know, is he a rapper? I don't know who he is. I honestly have never heard of this guy. But that's who this guy is. And so he's telling us how he gets it in St. Louis, or how they get it into St. Louis. I just want to take a quick listen. Let's see.
Hold up, I'm tripping. Before we even get this motherfucker started, hold up, I gotta get my shit going. Let me show you how we get down in St. Louis, gang, because I'm really like, you know, I'm here to talk my talk, but I'm really here to let y'all know how St. Louis coming. So I gotta start off.
I'm looking forward to this interview.
You see, I got the $2 bill for good luck. I'm finna go ahead, do my do, so we can do how we, you know, so I can come trim on this motherfucker. So look,
you say you got a $2
show you
bill?
101.
Wait, is he about to crush and sniff something? What the hell? All right, I'm gonna pause this. I'm pausing this for a second because I'm already upset, and I'll tell you why. Who is this guy? Number one, who is he? Number two, why is he online? Like, why is somebody giving him a platform to where he's saying, yo, before we do this interview, I gotta crush up and get, that's just, God. Blurred lines. You see what I'm saying? There's a line. This is habitual line stepping I'm seeing here today. It's like people don't understand. Look, get your shit together, man. You're coming on a podcast or whatever to do an interview. If you want to get high before you get there. Not on the thing. And then you're going to wonder why SWAT's kicking in your door thinking you got something in there. What the f is wrong with y'all? A $2 bill. That's interesting. Maybe that's some weird, you know, routine that he has. Because most people don't carry around a lot of $2 bills.
We do. This is how we get high in St. Louis. It's called slamming the pack. So first thing first, you get you a little shot of NyQuil, right? Gotta be cherry. Got to be cherry. Gotta have the acetaminophen in it. Then you get you a couple perk 10s, preferably 3. But I just went.
Hold on a second. I gotta say it. We here at the Purge of the BS do not support recreational illicit drug usage. We do believe that plant life is for man as God intended it. Y'all can take that how the fuck you feel.
Up on the, you know, on the whole another crazy level. But look, it's called a pack because 3 perk 10, 30 milligrams in St. Louis, that's a pack. We call it a pack. So when you slam it, let me show you. So you put the pills in $1 bills, then you, even with the grills, you know. You cut the motherfucker down to bacon bits.
Man, what?
You get this motherfucker down to straight powder dust. After it's dust.
I think you got Lil Jeff beat already. I ain't never seen no shit like this before, Heavy G.
You pour the dust. You pour the dust in a shot of NyQuil. It's gonna go from red down to the pink. We call that pussy pink. Pussy pink lemonade. You shake that motherfucker. Hold up, before I almost finish. Look, when you done with the dollar, you gotta let that motherfucker down, get all of the residue up. You need no evidence. You know, and then you do, you know, normally you pass this around like a collection plate, but it's just me. So I'm gonna treat this motherfucker like an iPhone and FaceTime, you know. One here, you know, one big, one rinse. One band, one sound. Now we ready. Let's do it.
So
hold on. Was there
you drunk all of it right now?
Damn right. What I'm playing for? Huh?
Damn, I ain't never seen that, Heavy G. So how that make you feel?
Oh, it's like it intensify your high. It make you feel like like Superman, like an action figure, like you could say today, and the motherfucker better not play some shit like that.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Hold
Okay,
up, I'm tripping.
Hold
Before
on
we
a
even
second.
get this
Hold on a second. First of all, I don't even whose shit is this? The Game Spitter on Instagram. So shouts to the Game Spitter on Instagram. But I am sick and tired of us giving this platform to this debauchery for anything other than to call it what it is. It's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. First of all, if you have an issue, a drug problem, if you are honest with yourself, you don't want anybody else to have that drug problem. But if you're not honest with yourself, you don't think you have a problem. You think everybody should be mixing NyQuil and pills and all that kind of stuff all day while they're doing podcasts. Let me tell you what, I don't even like having my guests, I don't even like my guests drinking when they come on my shit. And that's legal stuff, alcohol. But alcohol messes up things. It makes people sound goofy and slur their words and sound dumb, which is what he's going to end up sounding like after taking this shit. And he's supposed to be doing an interview for what? I don't know. I don't know who he is. He's Heavy G from St. Louis, 1400 Peabody. I'm sure that means something to the gang culture, but to me, that's just a city and probably an address. You see what I'm saying? But somebody has told this guy that this is what people want to see. And he has told himself that he wants to show it to you. Yeah, talking about he feel like an action figure. Right. Well, you know what? There's a lot of illicit drugs that make somebody think they can do something. How many people on PCP have jumped off of something and didn't make it? So my boy sent me this because he's getting sick and tired of the drug culture as well. And so I see why he sent it to me. He said, yo, this is getting crazy. It's just like we cooked. If this is what we're interviewing, like, let me put myself in the position of this interviewer, right? And I bring this guy in for an interview. I'm not going to have him do that on my shit. I'm going to be like, yo, nah, man, cut the interview. I'm done. That's cool. We'll get somebody else. You're not even that important. It's not like you're freaking Will Smith or somebody. Like, who are you that you get to come on my shit, be disrespectful, and doing drugs and promoting this how we get down in St. Louis? I would guarantee that if you go to St. Louis, everybody in St. Louis is not doing that. Just the niggas. Okay? So let's stop trying to spread the niggadolatry among the rest of us who are just out here living. We don't want to do that shit. I got things to do. I can't be doing that. I'm trying to be productive here. And you're trying to tell people, let's not be productive. Let's crush up pills and start feeling like action figures. Because you can feel like how you want to feel. You can feel invincible, but a bullet don't feel that. A bullet feels differently about you. So you can go out there thinking you're an invincible person, but I'm going to tell you what, that hot lead don't discriminate. And it don't matter who it come from. You see what I'm saying? Freaking ridiculous, man. And the funny part is the person that sent this shit to me was, he used to sell drugs back in the day. I mean, actually, we all did, honestly, to some degree. I wasn't that good as a dealer, though. And because I broke rule number 5. If you know Biggie's song about the commandments, I broke rule number 5. So I wasn't that good as a dealer. But, I was just thinking back on how screwed up life was. And I would have never sat somewhere and tried to tell someone, this is how we need to get down. This is what everybody needs to do. This is stupid. This is bullshit. This is dumb. So I'm done with this sticker. Y'all talk about this. And he had it all in the bag. He knew he was going to do that on the show. Like, why playing that? Why are you playing in that? You should have gone to the bathroom because he thinks it's cool. And we don't think it's cool, but apparently we've given it a place. That's it, man. Just till the fields. That's it. All the rest of that shit, leave it alone. Get to the things that grow from the planet correctly. that you can put in the right environment and they will naturally happen. I know I can't state those things on this channel because they'll say I'm promoting drug culture, but in my opinion, that's not the drug we need to be worried about. That's not the one that they got Border Patrol looking for. That's not the one that they're worried about flying through TSA. They're worried about pills and shit and this fentanyl shit. They're not worried about none of the grass growing. So I think we need to stop giving a platform to this. I remember when Future said he doesn't even do drugs. And he was doing Molly Percocet songs. Just messing with y'all's heads. And y'all believe that shit, started doing the shit. Now y'all lean in and all of that. Now it's just stuck in a culture. Meanwhile, Future's still clean. This nigga can pass a piss test right now. And he got all y'all thinking this is what we supposed to do. If it don't grow from the ground correctly, this is what I'm saying. Like some of this stuff is just cultivated, it's processed. I'm talking about there's some things that grow directly out the ground. Now, granted, I'm not gonna get to psychedelic mushrooms because you shouldn't be pulling nothing off of a pile of shit and eating it anyway. So just the thought process, there's something wrong with you. Don't do that. But you know what I'm talking about. Stay there, and I think the world would get better. If we didn't have all this extra stuff, cocaine, heroin, all that, I swear, and it wouldn't just be one race of people. It would make everyone better. It would make America better. It would make the world better. I wish some of that shit was never invented. I'm going to be honest with you. And now we've got people on podcasts showing you how to crush up and do drugs out of NyQuil. How far we have fallen. Freaking ridiculous. Anyway, let me keep going. Only got 30 minutes left here. So, oh God. All right, we're just gonna pause for the cause here. So you guys know that the Diddy trial recently it's at the point of sentencing. They haven't done the sentencing yet, but they're about to. They're going to. And so all of the names are coming out. And one particular name that some people may or may not know was this lady named Corinne Steffens, also known as Superhead. Yeah. So Corinne Steffens was on Piers Morgan talking about Diddy and had like a 30-minute interview about her and about Diddy. Now, I know that the woman has changed her life since she was considered Superhead. But I just would like to say, I believe that we have better speakers and role models than somebody that used to be the throat goat. Okay? I just feel like we can find some better women role models to be on Piers Morgan than that. But because it was about Diddy, apparently she had some experience with him or had some time with him at some point. And that was... So let me take y'all to the clip. We're going to watch it for 2 minutes or so. 1 second here. Make sure you hit the damn like button. Stop playing. Stop playing. Go ahead and hit it. Go ahead and hit it. It's lonely. It wants to be touched. So touch it. Okay? Now, let's see what the hell Superhead was talking about. Because it's so poignant. Let's move Piers Morgan's screen over here a little bit.
But did you actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all then?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
What?
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
I'm questioning why you even on the show. What do you mean by not to my knowledge? Are you inferring that you were under some other influence and you don't remember? Is that what you're saying? That's what it sounds like. Sounds like she's trying to throw somebody under the bus softly. And there's no soft throwing under the bus, but I'll let her continue. I'm just saying the way she started that is like, hold on, what do you mean you don't recall? What are we saying here?
Not to my knowledge. I have
Not to my knowledge.
No, I don't think anything right now. I just not to my knowledge because honestly.
That's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Piers, before I went through my text, again, I hadn't read Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it. It was painful to write. So I never wanted to re-traumatize myself and go through those years again. And think about this. I'm a middle-aged woman at this point. I don't want to go back into my 20s and see what happened. But in gathering information for this interview here, reading that passage again for the first time in 20 years, I questioned a lot of things like, well, why was he so afraid? And why did he try to, make my boyfriend feel as if I wasn't trustworthy? And
do you think he took advantage of you when you were under the influence of alcohol and drugs?
Her one eyebrow always sticking up bothers me. It's like she's always trying to give The Rock, what The Rock is cooking. She just always, I don't know. My eyebrow goes up a lot. I do it. That's my thing too sometimes. But hers just stays up. Maybe something got there and it's sticky and it stuck there. It was sticky, got right there and stuck. But yeah, that bothers me. I can't look at it. It's like it's talking to me, like the stain on the shirt in the commercial. Her eyebrow is doing that to me right now. I just want to go take her to the spot that my wife goes to. There's a little Asian woman in there. She can take care of that for you. Real quick, Superhead. Real quick.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
But do you feel that's the case now from everything you've read?
Honestly, yes. Given the context, now that I know, because again, I never knew any of these things about him before. So the things that I learned in the trial, I did not know. I never saw that side of him. I did not know. I never understood. And again, in 2005, when I published Confessions, it says I didn't understand why he was so fearful of me, because our time together was pleasant. And I was like, wait, what is he so afraid of? What does he not want me to tell? I didn't see anything at that point. At that point, I hadn't seen anything. At that point, we had, I thought, just a friendly, platonic night together.
Did you juggle the balls? Because a lot of people get this whole sexual relationship term mixed up. If you don't have regular sex, as it would be called, regular sex, that's, penetration, penis, vagina sex, right? There's other types of sex, right? And if your name is Superhead and you're hanging out with Diddy during the time in which the nickname had been earned, I feel like Diddy would have at least wanted to sample the goods. And maybe she's not saying nothing because of that. I don't know. But it just seems like, well, first of all, if she doesn't really have nothing to say, why the hell is she on Piers Morgan in the first place? Piers Morgan has millions, 4 million subscribers. Why? This is the best. Piers, you know who should have had up there? The freaking prosecutor. Get the lawyers up there. Talk to them. I would say talk to the male escorts, but I don't want to hear what they got to say either, because their stories are just so nasty. Everybody was just so nasty in these situations. Just, ugh. That's why I couldn't imagine being present and seeing something and being like, oh, that's cool. No. Hey, stop pissing in her mouth, bro. What are you doing? See how that would have rolled? I would have got kicked out immediately. I wouldn't have been there. But I just don't understand what the hell this lady's talking about. Why is she relevant if, one, she didn't have a sexual relationship with Diddy? She made no claims that he did anything to her. So all she's on there to say is, I thought he was great. That's what she's saying. Sexual relationship. I see what you're saying there, Al Bond. He did say relationship and not relations, but she just was like, I don't even remember. I don't know. I don't think so. So I don't think she's thinking about a relationship like boyfriend and girlfriend. You see what I'm saying? Like something that they're doing all the time. She's thinking, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell anybody that I diddled the diddler. Because Corinne Steffens was willing to do all types of stuff. She was putting things in people's rears. and all types of stuff to make them have these. I can't even say half of the shit. You know what? I'm gonna let her talk another couple minutes, but she's bad for business. I know I'm gonna get an ad suitability on here.
And 20 years later, I'm confused now. So, to my knowledge,
Yeah,
I've never had sex with Sean Combs. We never had that kind of relationship.
But you can't be sure.
Given what we know now, I can't be sure.
What the hell are you
And
talking
how does that
about?
make you feel?
And that saddens me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
It saddens me, honestly. Yeah, because honestly, during this entire process, I've been shying away from publicity and just letting the trial unfold. You know, I knew things from just being around and people talking, but I didn't know what was going to come out. There's a few things that I saw that without context were strange to me, but I didn't understand them until the trial. And so I've been quiet this whole time, and I disappeared off of social. I just disappeared for the past year waiting for this thing to unfold. In the unfolding of what I believe to be facts, and definitely the testimonies of Cassie and Jane and even some of the men, and then looking back at the text, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, when he said, if anything got out, and I'm like, and I remember at the time being so confused, like anything like what got out? Like nothing happened. We hung out, you were kind. At some point I went to sleep. I don't know when, but I woke up and then we had breakfast and you were kind and I left. Nothing happened. I don't know, Piers. I feel, just in the last 24 hours, I question what I thought I knew about my time with him.
What? What the hell is this? And Al Bond in the chat, awesome pun, said that she is about to make a comeback. Okay? She's trying to make a comeback. That's actually pretty funny. And I, being a purveyor of good comedy, can recognize the comedy in that. But I also recognize the irony in all of this is like, who is she to say anything at this point? She's not even relevant to anything. Why did the Piers Morgan staff say, hey, Piers, you know what we're thinking? We're going to call up Superhead, and you get to interview her for 30 minutes. This was a 30-minute interview. I only played a couple minutes for you. A lot of people get on Piers Morgan and do not get 30 minutes of time. And she had nothing relevant to say about the Diddy situation other than he was cool with me. And I don't remember what happened. Well, then you're not supposed to be here. You're wasting the time of the public. But even if she did have something to say, what, are you going to bring up charges for that now? No. They would have said, why you ain't say nothing before? So why was she even there? I don't know. Like I said, Piers Morgan, I watch the show because sometimes there's some decent guests on there. But every once in a while, he brings somebody up there, and I'm like, why are you even there? Who decided that you needed to be the voice today? So I'll say this. She might be, I believe, this is just me, I believe that in those circles, to earn the name Superhead would denote that enough people have experienced the superiority of this head and give you the nickname. And I would assume, like I said, this is assumptions, that if you were around Diddy and he also had that idea, that at some point he would have wanted to sample the goods. Now, maybe she was intoxicated and doesn't remember. But if that's the case, then you shouldn't be on the Piers Morgan show talking about shit. Because now you're putting this gray area out there and making it seem like, well, something might have happened, something might not have happened. Well, you know what? I believe something happened. And I don't know why she's not just going to be honest about it and just say, hey, I diddled his balls a few times. He was nice to me. He never peed on me or anything like that. You know, not to my knowledge. But I'm just saying, like, for black women, because I'm not a black woman, but I'm just like, is this your God? This is your king? Superhead. This is shooting for the stars. It's the best we got. I mean, I could come up with a million phrases to say, but y'all see what I'm saying. And I feel like to a degree, it's almost wrong for Piers Morgan to bring this woman on the show. If she had nothing relevant to add to the Diddy situation, and really, she's not a voice of, reason. She's known for being a throat goat. Like, that's what she's known for. Yeah, you wrote a book. I didn't read your book, but you wrote the book because you were a throat goat. You wrote the book because of a debaucherous situation, and you didn't even use the book to, like, try to empower people to not do the shit. You basically glorified doing that. And now you're on Piers Morgan? I don't know. The money must be getting low or something, but that's just stupid. What a freaking waste of time. See, Piers Morgan, if you and I ever speak, I'm going to have a couple of words to say about who you be choosing to bring on the damn show. You're not even from the U.S. Why don't you ask a couple of us who the hell we want to see on the show? Now, every once in a while, he'll have a couple of, like I said, he'll have some good guests on there. But for the most part, he gets these weird people that may have some internet fame or, you know, stuff like that, but they're not really relevant to the full conversation. Superhead is not relevant to the full conversation, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's how you feel, but that's how I feel. And I'm through with these people. Done with this shit. At least done with her. Trump will win. Special shouts. Stopping in the chat there. I see your comment saying that Superhead is the bottom of the barrel that they're scavenging just to keep this thing going. I mean, yeah, to a degree, they're going to keep it going, but it's not even good news anymore. Like, at this point, the trial's kind of over. They're waiting on sentencing. Let's move on to the next trial. What's up with Luigi? What's going on with that trial? Has that started yet? That'll be the next one, the Luigi trial. And there'll be people out front of the courthouse, and we love you, Luigi. We're going to be seeing all of that. People are going to be just acting stupid. Folks are stupid. There'll probably be a couple of chicks that flash their chests. So that's the next one. Al said he's going to write a book about laying lumber, about laying pipes. Who's going to care? Nobody would care if we wrote that. Nobody would. Nobody would. So let me see what this last story is. Oh, I got two. I save that one. All right, we got two quick ones. Yeah, we got two quick ones here. So the first one is for my chat. Apparently, a guy went into a fast food restaurant with his wife, or his wife went into the restaurant, and the person who was at the counter called her beautiful. And the husband apparently lost his mind over that. So I'm going to look at the clip. We're going to see what it looks like. I'm going to ask y'all what y'all think about it, and then we're going to move to our last little piece of the day. All right? Check this out. Oh, and hold up. Support the channel, guys. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the share button. And if you feel so inclined, send a super chat like my man Sebastian Polega or Sonny Bricks has done in the past. And IMZ has also done so. So anyway, check this out.
Fucking beautiful? You just said out of your own mouth what you said to her. How are you gonna tell me?
We didn't say something.
No, you said she is beautiful. Yes or no?
I said you're looking so beautiful.
Why the fuck would you say that?
I'm sorry for that because we just.
You please get this.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Well, just
your wife comes to the store.
Yeah, but
wants to pick up a freaking sandwich.
Yeah, but
is she crazy?
Yeah.
That she sits through these fucking compliments, these fucking creeps.
You just give us a compliment.
Why?
They made a mistake.
This is not your fucking country. Yeah. This is not India or something, dude. Yeah. You're in the fucking States.
I understand you're upset.
Yeah,
and I understand what you're talking about. It is a generational thing.
Right.
In his generation, that would have been okay.
No, it would not have been okay.
They would have took it better.
Yeah,
it would have not been okay.
Yeah.
It is never okay to speak to a woman you do not know and talk about her looks.
Listen.
There's a difference in class.
Listen.
There's a difference in respect. There is no difference in generation.
Listen, you made your point, man. They've learned a lesson. They won't do it again. They learned a lesson.
Against them. I'm sorry, but this is not okay.
Bro, really, I was saying he was taking in some other way. We didn't say like that.
The thing.
Let me just say this. I'm tired of the wrong people working at Popeyes anyway. This is a Popeyes chicken. I don't see no folks that look like the classic chicken making folks in the Popeyes. I got Indian dudes. We got this guy in the corner who I don't know what he is, but he is not the group I was expecting to see at the Popeyes. Now, from what I can gather in context so far, it appears that he told the guy his wife was beautiful. I'm still trying to figure out, did he tell her, like let's say she came in to get a sandwich and he said, ma'am, you're very beautiful. And that's it. And then she walks out with the sandwich. She goes and tells the husband, that guy in there just made a pass at me and called me beautiful and said I was super beautiful. And then he comes in there like this, right? That's what may have happened. Or what I thought I heard the guy say was that the gentleman behind the counter said to him, your wife is very beautiful. You see what I'm saying? And I have a beautiful wife. I'm not sure I would crash out over this. I would have just said, yeah, I know. That's why I married her. And that would have been the end of that conversation for me. If that's what happened. If the person behind the counter says, hey, man, your wife is gorgeous. Hey, thanks. That's why I married her. Have a nice day, sir. See how easy that fucking works? But because we got these blurred lines about what's acceptable, this guy was not coming for his lady. I would suffice to say he was not about to take a break and try to pick up this man's wife. I think he stated something, and because there's maybe a communication barrier as to what's normally said and what's not normally said, I think the guy was just kind of oblivious to it. I think it was ignorance. I don't think it was disrespect. I think this guy making a huge scene about it is disrespectful because, one, now everybody's got to wait on their damn Popeyes because of you. Number two, is your wife not beautiful? If she ugly, then and you're mad because somebody says she's pretty, don't tell her that shit. She's going to get a swollen head and think that she can leave me. Maybe he's coming from that angle. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is if you have a beautiful woman, what's the point of having a beautiful woman that nobody else thinks is beautiful or nobody, you see what I'm saying? What's the point of having a woman that nobody thinks is beautiful? What's the point of having a man that nobody wants? There might only be a couple people that want him, but you don't want the person that nobody wants. You don't want the grenade at the party. You know, the chick that somebody had to take it for the team to be with. You don't want that one. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's lines. There's certain lines. Now, if the dude was biting his lip and was like, boy, your wife, bad mother. Now we got a problem. Now you're getting the stiffy behind the counter there. You're hitting the cash register with your stiffy. Stop. We might have a small problem. Now, granted, I'm still not fighting over this because I'll tell you right now, there's levels to this shit. And what I do know is that the guy behind the counter at Popeyes is not my competition when it comes to women. I'm going to be real. Never been. Maybe when I was 16, you know, but as an adult, the dude at the Popeyes is not my competition. We're not even at the same level. We don't rock the same clothes. Man, there's levels to this shit. You see what I'm saying? So let's just be honest. This guy's being a dick nugget. He's being a dick nugget. Because unless this guy says something really raunchy to his wife, then what you say is, yes, I know she's very beautiful. That's why I married her. Have a nice damn day. But I'm going to let it finish out because I still don't know which one of the two scenarios happened. Did he say it to the woman as she was leaving and then the husband came in? Or did he say it directly to the husband? Because if he said it directly to the husband, that's actually more respectful than saying it to the woman by herself. Like if you tell a guy, hey, man, your wife is freaking awesome, man. Like she's a baddie. That's respect to the dude. It's not supposed to be disrespectful. But let's see. Let them finish it up because I got other shit to do.
Is you just do not freaking say it.
Yeah, but they won't do it again.
He immediately says
you got to have some grace.
I do. I promise.
Okay.
Like I'm not a crazy person.
No,
this is like insane to me.
You can talk to the team.
I don't need to talk to anyone. When he comes, I expect one of you guys to like explain what I have said here. I'm sure you guys have cameras.
Right.
I wanted to go and look at it. I've been a GM, like manager at many store locations.
Is there anything that
Not at a single time has anyone. There is no other way to take it.
We apologize. We are saying sorry. Rather than that, what can I say?
Yeah.
We just greeted him in a good way.
That is not how you greet
Yeah,
but we try to understand that.
Yeah, they understand.
Yeah.
Don't escalate it in a lot.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, okay. You made your point, man.
Just for future sake, for your own self.
Right.
Please don't do that to anyone. Because I am a very nice person.
No, you're not.
You will someday see a motherfucker that's not as nice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, absolutely.
There's some crazy people out there.
Right.
And this is Kansas.
One second.
Kansas.
You were taking some other way, but I didn't read like that.
You've already said out of your own
just
mouth.
leave it alone.
How you greeted.
Don't.
Whatever you said is not
right. Just apologize and just.
You don't need to apologize.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I don't need to apologize to someone else. And I don't even know if they would ever forgive you.
Yeah.
Hey, sir. I do appreciate you. Coming.
I'm sorry. I really didn't want to do this in front of everyone.
I do appreciate you.
It's our problem.
First of all, I see they're trying to be nice to the customer in Kansas over here, but this guy's doing too much. I really didn't hear anything that was super disrespectful. This could have been a much shorter conversation, and now my damn Popeye's chicken is cold, waiting on y'all to have this conversation. That's why the dude was next to him trying to console him, like, you made your point, I need my chicken sandwich, the spicy chicken sandwich. It's sitting right over there. Could you get that for me? Because I don't have time for this shit. Disrespect is different. I get it. Maybe you didn't want nobody to tell your wife that she was beautiful or tell you that you have a beautiful wife, but I just don't see where the full-blown 3-minute and 11-second crash out was necessary. This is a quick conversation. Hey, man, watch what you're saying. That's not how we talk here in Kansas. And keep it moving. Like, this dude, he didn't mean no harm. I'm looking at the guy. He don't mean no harm. He wasn't trying to pick up your lady, man. I don't think he was. I just think this guy doesn't want his lady to think that she's pretty. Over in foreign lands, they need the women to be subservient. Don't have her thinking that she's westernized now. People call her beautiful because she might leave me for the guy behind the counter at Popeyes. Look, if you're worried about the guy behind the counter at Popeyes, you need to get your shit together, sir. We're not even on the same level. You understand what I'm saying? We're not even going to be traveling in the same circles. If I got this one, anything I got is not looking for the nigga behind the counter at Popeyes. I'm just saying. Not even the manager at Popeyes. Just, no, we're not on the same level. This is not worth all of that. He took way too much time trying to say whatever the hell he was trying to say, and I'm still not 100% sure that he's correct in what he was assuming happened. The wife wasn't even standing there. So she never was able to say, well, no, he said blah, blah, blah. She in the car somewhere, and he in there crashing out. Probably because he ain't getting no cootie at home, so he's already an asshole. He's pent up with stress. She ain't giving him none. And then some dude at Popeyes called her beautiful. Now he's really upset because he's worried that she's going to try to get the benefits of having the Popeyes worker as her boy toy. Oh, shit. So anyway, I'm through with these people. So, we are just about to the end here. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share, do the shit that you know to do on YouTube. I hate saying it, but it's like when we get into the show, people forget that they can do that to support the channel. So I was reminded to remind y'all. That's what it is. Because I don't take it personal that people don't do it. I just think people just forget. All right, I think this is we're on the last one. Are we on the last one? Second to last. This is a quick one though. Bring this on over here. So this is for the couples who may or may not have the beautiful wife problem that we experienced in the last segment here. But I just wanted to give you guys some breaking news and also some sad news. So Dwight Howard is getting a divorce after 6 months of marriage. 6 months. And apparently this wife person is asking for 50% of his shit. You haven't been with him 50% of his life. You haven't even been with him 25% of his life. Let me tell y'all what. I got one word and one word only for you. Prenup. Okay? If he did not sign that, and I don't know what state Dwight Howard's in now, but normally you have to be with a person for at least a year or so before you have any claim to assets. At least that's my thought. Now, if you're with a person for 10 years, 20 years, all right, you know, there's not a lot to talk about there because a lot of that stuff that they've gained happened while they were with you. But even nowadays, they have women who will marry a guy who's got millions, like he used to be the dude, you know, like an actor or something, and now he's like 70, so he's got a bunch of money, and then they'll marry him and then divorce this dude a year later and take all his shit. It's off-putting to those men that want to get married. And I'm going to tell you what right now, men, marriage ain't the problem. It's who you marry. That's the problem. We've diminished the value of marriage and what it actually meant to build a family. So people kind of come and go when it comes to marriage. They're in it. They hear that whole for better or for worse. They're not paying attention to that shit. It's till you can't do what I want you to do. That's how it works. I will stay with you until you say no to me. And that's how a lot of women and men in certain cases. I mean, honestly, most of the divorces are initiated by women, but that can be for different reasons. I'm sure somebody will say, well, it's the, domestic violence. And I'm sure that there are some cases of that. But a lot of the cases are just the dude ain't giving this woman what she wants when she wants it. And like a spoiled 6-year-old, she's throwing a tantrum and the divorce is the tantrum. And in most cases, people are more sympathetic to a woman in a divorce than they are a man, even though the man is the one that stands to lose the most. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's all, girl, you can live your best life and all that. They don't do that when a dude's going through a divorce. They just be like, everybody stays silent when it comes to the dude. Nobody says nothing. They just, hey, he'll make it through it. And if he need me, he'll call me. That's how we treat men going through a divorce. When a woman's going through a divorce, you trying to help them out. You want to get them back on the town. Hey, girl, let's go out and do this. You still married. And you trying to get her to get dick slung to her everywhere. Because you was single and mad while she was married. Don't think I don't see it. But 6 months, guys, 6 months. Do you guys think that this woman deserves a cent of Dwight Howard's monies after 6 months? Oh, hold on a second. Apparently they share toothbrushes. Oh, he's out in L.A. Yeah, that's right. He played for the Lakers at the end. My man, No Captivity, Freezy in there. Freezy, thank you for stopping in, man. I got to get that redirect so I can redirect the folks over there, man. Thank you for stopping in, though. Make sure that y'all check out No Captivity with Freezy, okay? Really good show over there. Freezy, I'm taking notes. It's the videos, the audio. Freezy keeps it real tight over there. Keeps it real tight. Pause for those that don't understand what that means. But nonetheless, so this gentleman, he's 6 months. I'm going to be honest with you. 6 months ain't shit. 6 months, you can go get locked up for 6 months and you'll survive that without much of a problem. Unless you an asshole in jail, then all right, you're going to get your ass whooped. But if you just keep your head down, you can make it 6 months in pretty much any spot. But does she deserve a monetary thing? Now, I need more because I need to know, was she around for years and then they just got married? Or is this a recent relationship, they got married and they only married for 6 months? I don't know. What I will say is I'm tired of these persons, celebrities or not, acting like marriage don't really mean nothing when you do it. This shit takes a lot of planning, and you have to be honest within yourself. Hey, I'm about to spend the rest of my life with this person. This shit's going to take some work because I don't like you 7 days a week. I like you 6 days a week. One of them days of that week, I'm not going to like your ass for some reason at some point in that day. And the question is, can I make it to the day after that when I like you again without screwing it up on the day that I don't like you? That's what marriage is. You're not going to like them every day. Sometimes you look at your significant other and you be mad as hell about something they just did or forgot to do in the house or whatever. But does that mean you want a divorce? No. Well, in today's world, it does. In today's world, you leave a door open for too long and let the AC out, you're going to get a divorce. You get somebody like your damn Facebook picture because you put up a picture of you with your new car or whatever. You might get a divorce. Who's this bitch? It's a lot. But if celebrities can't even manage to hold it down and they have the one resource, they got money and stuff, so normally that helps because a lot of marriages end because of financial strife. People are broke. So it's like, yo, if I'm going to be broke, I'm going to be broke by myself. I'm not going to be broke. I'm broke. And you over here complaining to me about you broke because we broke. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm still broke. So there, I'll just, I see why people be like, yeah, I'll just be broke by myself. I don't know. Allie N, thank you for stopping in the chat as well. And I'm not going to make any excuses for jealous people. There's these dick nuggets. And if you don't know what a dick nugget is, that's an original Purge the BS term. It is basically an asshole. But it's like worse than that. You see what I'm saying? It's worse than that. The dick nugget is like not just an asshole, but also very, very annoying. At the same time, like super annoying, overdoes everything, overtalks the whole situation, has concepts that don't make no damn sense. Just a dick nugget, just a problem in a place that you don't want them, and a consistent problem. Dick nugget, okay? So, let's see. This is the thing, and Freezy makes a good point. She obviously married the dude for money and fame. I don't know who this lady is. I wouldn't know who she was if not for the fact that she was married to Dwight Howard. You see what I'm saying? But Dwight Howard had already been caught up in some pretty nefarious, well, not nefarious, but pretty alternative lifestyles. And so she already knew that she might not be marrying the man of her dreams. The man of her dreams probably already came and went. So she marries this guy, puts in 6 months, and then divorces him. Now, before I say that way, I'm not sure who initiated the divorce. A lot of these celebrity couples will say, oh, no, it was a mutual decision. No, it wasn't. Because if the two of y'all hated each other that much, then y'all would have never been married in the first place. It's never a mutual decision. Somebody always initiates it, and the other person either says, fine, or they start crying and trying to fight for the relationship. But somebody always is the first one that says, I want a divorce. It's never mutual. Now, granted, you might get the I want a divorce and the response is, you know what, I wanted one too, but I wasn't going to say nothing because I thought we was in this for the long haul. But since you brought it up, let's go ahead and file that paperwork. That way I don't feel so bad about divorcing you. So she got her little 5 seconds here. But apparently they share toothbrushes. That's weird. Mm-hmm. Hold up now. You got millions. You ain't got an extra toothbrush in the bathroom? Is this a daily thing? Look, I'm going to be honest. Love my wife. It would have to be a real serious situation where we'd have to share a toothbrush. Like, no stores available. No extra toothbrushes around the house. Still in packages. Love her to death. But her toothbrush is hers. You understand what I'm saying? That is yours and yours alone. Until you decide to throw it away and have another one. That's yours. That's nasty to me. They think it's cute. I think it's nasty.
David.
You know what that's a metaphor for? She's messy. She can't even control her damn toothpaste. First of all, let me show you something here. When you put the toothpaste on the thing, the toothpaste didn't make it to her mouth. It fell right on the thing. Soon as she decided to start brushing, she like, see it? It's right there. So she didn't even get no toothpaste in her mouth. She was just dry brushing. Got the toothpaste in her hair and on her robe. I don't know. I don't know this lady, but this is the metaphor for messy. You can't even get toothpaste in your mouth correctly. You must be a messy person. Now you got it on your hair. But anyway, so 6 months. Seen that one. All right, so a lot of people are not nice in the comments here. They're worried about Dwight Howard because his dog just passed away, and now his wife is leaving him. And everybody is going towards what Freezy was talking about, which is she was kind of stupid because she knew he was messing with people that have the same plumbing as him. So maybe she found out he still had some of that going on. I guess that would be a problem. But let's be honest, ladies. There's a few ladies in my chat here. Ladies, if you found out that your dude was taking it in the butt cheeks for, let's say, a few years before he met you, and he found Jesus or something, and he comes to you, doesn't look like any of the past that he's had, and then you find that out, are you comfortable with that? I don't think so. I think women in general would be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Well, you know what? Let's be honest. If you got a lot of money, those lines get blurred when you got a lot of money. What a person will put up with or forgive from your past, it definitely has to do with money. All of the folks who say, they would never mess with a woman who was on OnlyFans. Well, if she was a millionaire and she was trying to like pamper you, you do it. Forget morals. She got money, right? Women do it all the time. They might mess with a dude who's got money. He's a whole married ass nigga. He's married and shit. And he's basically paying her bills, so she'll stay quiet. And you'll forgive the fact that he's got a whole family because he's got a couple dollars. I guarantee that dude behind the counter at the Popeyes would be faithful and would love the shit out of you. But you don't want him. You want somebody else's man. Then they get a divorce. You move in as the side chick. Now you become the main chick. You marry the person, and then you get a divorce from him. Side chick that breaks up the home, ends up getting the home, and then breaks up the home again. It's like a double whammy. I like your synopsis here, Allie-Ann. It's going to be a no for Allie-Ann. Not messing with no dude to mess with dudes. Because he can cheat on you easier saying he's out with the boys. And that's right. Hey, I'm just going to hang out. We're going to play some ball. No, you're going to play with balls. That's what you're about to go do. And that's just crazy. But I'm going to tell you what, the people in the comments, this is, like I said, this is why Grok is an asshole now. Because we done fed it full of hateful comments. Says women want gay men until they have a gay man. But anyway, nobody seems to be very sympathetic to the fact that they're getting a divorce. Like, if you want to be real, if a couple that's in love goes through something or was in love on some pretty love shit and they were taking all the good pictures together and they had the kids and, you seeing the family pictures and all of that, you should feel bad. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you got that once, you don't really get that multiple times. Like if you had a love situation where it was like you was really into it, posting all the time, you taking vacations all the time, the person's helping you raise your kids, whatever the situation is, like serious, right? And let's say you spend 10 years doing that. The next person can't build the history that you had because you're now older. So you'll never get that again. It'll never replay itself. Even though we think we can go out and just find the same thing, you will not. You'll find something different that hopefully is better for your life at that time. But if you're still searching for the thing that you already had, you ain't gonna find that shit again. That shit is gone. That's why it's gone, because you're not gonna find it again. So, best of luck to Dwight Howard. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think that 6-month marriage, you can go with what you came with. You don't need nothing from me. 6 months, you couldn't even make it through a whole calendar year with a brother. Like, come on, man. That means there wasn't no real love there in the first place. Same thing with Kevin Gates and the other chick. They were married for less than 60 days. After they were talking all this Muslim stuff, and they were, it was Brittany Renner. That's who it was. Brittany Renner. Now, granted, she was a 304. I thought it was bullshit anyway, but I was hoping that she was making a change for the better in her life. Come to find out, she was just the same person, but wearing a hijab. That was it. She was still dirty. And now she's going to be dirty back on the streets, being dirty again. And same for Dwight Howard's wife. Dwight Howard ain't really out there like that. He's not really in no scandals other than messing with people that got the same plumbing as him. But he ain't out here hurting nobody. And if he was going to be happy and ready for the rest of his life, I think that he should have been allowed to do that. I don't think this lady should have came in. Now you got to mess it up. He got to spend a whole year in court unless you just sign it all off to her and you do a non-contested divorce, which I wouldn't do. Screw that girl. She can go right back to the streets. See ya. Enjoy your time. Jeez. I'd be really hoping that these folks make it, but it just looks, it's getting worse and worse. I don't think, this is what I'm going to say. I don't think you should be able to get a divorce that fast. That's my honest truth there. I don't think you should be able to get a divorce that fast because it takes a while to even get married. I mean, granted, yeah, you could go to Vegas and do this shit overnight, but I'm saying the regular average person plans for a few months. They've been dating for a couple of years, you know, whatever it is, but there's some time invested before you get married. So you should have to go at least a year. Even if you decide you don't want to live in the same house with the person, you got to go at least a year without them just to get the damn divorce. In some states. Not every state, but I know a lot of states, you have to be separated for a year before you can get a divorce. So if you're married for 6 months, but you got to be separated for a year to get a divorce, that doesn't even make sense to me. We got to be separated longer than we were even married just to get a damn divorce? No. They should put a timeline on it. If you want to get married, you got to sign a contract, like a fucking NBA contract. You got 3 years contract. And in 3 years, we're going to come back. If you don't want to be in the marriage no more, that's your time to come and say you don't want to be in the marriage no more. But not 6 months from now. No, you just left the courthouse or the church 6 months ago. That's bullshit. I don't know, man. I just think we have diminished the value of marriage so much that 6 months, you think you deserve anything other than a goodbye? If that, you don't deserve nothing. Get her off of my shit. Shouts again to my man, No Captivity. My man, Freezy over there. Freezy, you're right. I really was hoping for Brittany Renner because she's a pretty girl. She's attractive, but she just had this toxic mindset. And I thought once I saw her, you know, covering up and putting on the hijab, and I know Kevin Gates is a little weird, but the guy does a lot of motivational kind of speaking. So I was like, you know what? If that works for her, then great. And for a second, it looked like they were real happy. Less than 2 months later, they get the divorce. What are you talking about? What happened in 2 months that hadn't happened before the 2 months? What happened in 6 months for Dwight Howard that hadn't happened in the 6 months prior to getting married? What the hell is going on out here? I don't know. Oh, you have a year to annul a marriage. Well, here's the thing. If you annul a marriage within the first year, and thank you for your chat over there, Allie, then you shouldn't get nothing from that. It shouldn't be no 50% of this or nothing. She's asking for half of his net worth after a 6-month marriage. And she damn sure was not with him shooting in the gym. You understand what I'm saying? You wasn't with him shooting in the gym when he was making that money. So no, you don't get nothing. Go back to the nosebleed seats and enjoy your popcorn. The hell out of here. There's just so many of them. Just so many of them. So I'm just going to get my last story out because I got to get out of here. And this one came up late, but I just thought it was interesting. A divorce. Now, you may not know Denise Richards. Denise Richards used to be pretty hot back in the day. Like, just being honest, she was pretty hot. Especially for a Caucasian woman. She was all right. And I'm going to bring up the clip here once I find out if it's going to give me an ad or not. No, it's going to give me an ad. You sons of bitches. I'm not paying for your subscription. No. So I'll give them their little 30 seconds here. God damn it. Sorry. So if you don't know who Denise Richards is, how's it stopping? All right, well, we'll just bring it up here then. We'll bring it up here. Here we go, guys. It's our last one for the day. So make sure you hit that like button because we only got a few minutes left here. All right, so this is Carol Alt, who is apparently a lawyer or some shit. But I just want to show you who Denise Richards is, if you don't know. This is Denise Richards here from Wild Things from back in the day. You might not remember her. This is her on the left. This is her current day on the right with her soon-to-be ex-husband. Let's just say mayonnaise doesn't age well, apparently. And I really have some questions because she's filed for divorce from her husband. And she did share that apparently her husband was helping her with her OnlyFans account. Now, guys, this Denise Richards on the left, I could see making some money on OnlyFans. I can see it. It makes sense. I don't know how the Denise Richards on the right is making money on OnlyFans. What is she posting? Geriatric pictures of her and Depends? Like, what are you putting on OnlyFans to make money? Who's paying for it? Maybe some old guys. Maybe some older guys that had like a Denise Richards crush back in the day, and now they can pay for feet pictures. I don't know what she's showing on the OnlyFans. I'm not going to research this. I'm telling you. I'm not going to research that. I don't care what she's showing on there because there's nothing on Denise Richards currently that I would want to see. I'm worried I would have nightmares. Grush Diva, thank you for stopping in the chat as well. But let me play this lady's little thing to what she's talking about. Let's see what she's talking about. Where's the sound?
Called me and said, "Oh, I'm doing OnlyFans." Actually, her husband called me. I'm not more friends. I've known Aaron, her husband, for a really long time, and have gone to his clinic in Los Angeles, his club. And he said, you know, Denise is on OnlyFans, and you know, it's this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, uh-huh. And then I got on the phone with Denise later on, and we're in a series together called Paper Empire. And we're co-stars in that, and we'll be working quite closely together. And she said, "Carol, I'm getting hired off of OnlyFans." That was the clincher for me.
Hired? That
was the clincher. If people can't see me and what I look like and how I sound and hear what I'm doing, and you know, I can't promote myself, then I can't get hired. So when I heard that really, I have to say, I'm glad you asked this question because it just dawned on me that really was the clincher for me. I called up my manager immediately after.
All right, I have issues with this whole thing. Is this the same person? She aged that much in 6 years? Jesus, what was she eating? Oh my God. So apparently the couple spends $100,000 a month, $20,000 is spent on clothes, $18,000 on rent, $10,000 on groceries, $8,000 on utilities, $15,000 on eating out, and $15,000 on entertainment. That actually is a pretty crazy.
Good, Janet.
What
Thanks, I just
is
went
that?
number 2. Cool.
Garden of Life.
All right, we're not going to be doing that. So, nonetheless, you know they're trying to run their ads on me right now. But here's the thing. Even a former superstar who was at one point very pretty, even she's been regulated to coming down to being on OnlyFans. Like, that's the pinnacle of the female existence in today's world. It's actually pretty damn sad. Like, I don't know what she was showing on that thing, but she don't look like that no more. And the husband, first of all, he's a simp for even supporting all that shit. But I guess if it was funding their lifestyle, he didn't really have a choice if he wasn't doing nothing. But her husband was helping her create risque content for OnlyFans. This guy, this dude here. And so, you know what? If she got that OnlyFans money and it wasn't as much as she was used to having, and she's like, you know what? This guy's not doing nothing but telling me to show my box. Then she did decide to get rid of him. And it's time for him to go. She looks horrible current day. Like, these Getty images are from a couple years. It was 6 years. Let me go back to the top. I got to go back up here to this photo here. This woman right here. Let me see if I can get a little closer. Get a little closer. Don't be shy. Look at this face right here. You see it? You paying $5.99 a month for this? This old wretched box over here? I'm sorry, but come on, guys. We're making it worse. We're making it worse. Because if every woman thinks, hey, if nothing else, I'll just go to OnlyFans, it really sets the precedent of women are just sexual objects who can only make money with their bodies and not with anything else. And that's what this says. Even at whatever age she is now, she looks 70. She looks 70. I don't know how old she is, but there's no 70-year-old that should be on OnlyFans. Okay, well, Al, it says in the thing that her husband helped her make risque content. So maybe it wasn't explicit, but I'm sure she was in at least a bikini or something. Like, what else are we talking about? You don't go on OnlyFans to do cooking shows. You go on OnlyFans to do debauchery. So whatever her level of it was, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not investigating it because I don't want that shit in my browser history. I don't even want it in my incognito history. But this is the problem is superstars. The best they can do is fall back on OnlyFans. And it's because there's a supply and demand. So as long as people are going to pay for old-ass Denise Richards foot pics or whatever she's doing over there, she can go over there and make $1. I'll tell you what, I can't make a cent off of taking pictures of my feet. So I ain't mad at her if she's not doing sexually explicit content. But there's some people that watch that kind of stuff. They want to watch like grannies, you know, mountain lions do stuff. They want to do that. But I think it's sad. I really do. I feel like it's a sad, sad day when Denise Richards, the best she can do, she couldn't go on a show. She couldn't do, you know, a podcast maybe. People would have got behind that. Yeah, the problem is the demand. And where there is a demand, there will always be a supply. Same with drugs and everything else. And if we demand bullshit, they'll keep providing bullshit. If Denise Richards would have got on OnlyFans and made $0, then she wouldn't be thinking about OnlyFans. She'd be like, oh, that was a bad move. But because a bunch of old dudes, because I'm sure it wasn't no young guys paying for that shit, it was a bunch of old guys. So a bunch of old guys decided, oh my God, Denise Richards. And they made her enough money that she said, screw my husband, I'm doing this on my own. And apparently her daughter's doing OnlyFans as well. So I find it interesting. They're always trying to shut down websites. They never try to shut down OnlyFans. Who owns that? That's a good question. Somebody owns that to a point where it never comes up in conversation. They never bring nobody into Congress to talk about privacy issues on OnlyFans or the possibility that pedos might be there or that there might be some child content. Like, they never have a conversation about OnlyFans. And no, Denise Richards probably has just as much talent as Corinne Steffens. Okay? 0. So I'm done with her, but it's sad. It's sad, man. This is where we are. This is where we are. Denise Richards is forced to be an OnlyFans person. I can't even say model because look at her on the right, not on the left. You see her on the left, okay, it makes sense. But on the right, guys, whoever you are, stop doing this. Get some help. Shit is getting ridiculous. You got 70-year-old women on OnlyFans now. Stop. If I catch you, I got something for your ass. That's all I'm saying. It's y'all fault. All right. I have said and done enough with this for the day. And I just got to be honest. I am very sad. I'm sad that we have this situation. So we need to talk about solutions, okay? We got to talk about solutions. And there you go. Denise Richards she could go on Piers Morgan since he's putting Superhead on there. Let's just grab everybody. You know, why not? Get a couple of the old porn stars we haven't seen in a while. Where's Jenna Jameson at? You know what I'm saying? Get her old ass out there and see what we're talking about. The old ones. I'm talking about the old. Like, some of y'all might be too young to even remember some of those names. I do not want to see Ron Jeremy. I can only imagine, if he's still alive, I can only imagine what he looks like now. Oh, my God. Oh. But anyway, let's talk about the solutions. Let's get out of here. So what are we going to do about this? How are we going to fix these boundaries just being crossed and being blurred like this? And people just not understanding to stay in your lane and do the best that you can for yourself and your family. Stop being an idiot. Stop being a dick nugget. Well, the first thing is we got to communicate, which is like what we're doing right here. Stop expecting people to read your mind. If you have a boundary, you got to set that boundary. Tell them, hey, I'm not with this shit. If your lady's doing something, she got her ass out on Instagram or something, hey, I'm not with that. Set your boundaries. And don't hint, don't assume, don't get mad at people for not knowing about it. You set your boundaries and stick to them. What you're going to consume, what you're going to communicate, what you're going to do. Secondarily, consistency. Once you have the boundaries, you have to be consistent in the boundary. You can't have the boundary on a Tuesday, and then by Thursday, that's not the boundary. People need to know what to expect from you. When they come up against you and find out that you are part of the Purge collective, they should understand that you are not here about no bullshit. And if they present bullshit, it must be addressed immediately. That's how I deal with everything right now. Some people stay away from me because they be on their bullshit, and they're like, I don't even want to be around him because he's going to call me out for being a phony. And I'm all right with that. Stay away from me. If you don't want me to, hey, I will tell you when I smell that bullshit. Third, respect. Just because somebody's boundary is different from yours doesn't necessarily make it wrong. Now, we do have to take public scrutiny into account here, but it doesn't necessarily make it wrong. Just because you don't care about something doesn't mean that they shouldn't care about it. But what we do have to be 100% true about is, where are we going to draw the lines? We blurred them over the course of the last 15 years. So to expect any of it to change without focusing on the next generation, like the kids that are less than 10 years old right now, and making sure they got the right information, there's nothing we can do to stop what's already happened. It's happened. It's done. It's over with. So we got to do better. We got to communicate better. We got to respect each other better. We got to love each other better when it comes to marriages and stuff like that. And when these lines get blurred, we got to have courage to reestablish the lines with kindness and not chaos. No violence. Just establish the line, stick to the line. So before I get out of here, I just got to let y'all know I really appreciate all of the support that you have been giving this channel. We have been fighting against certain algorithmic problems, but it seems like slowly but surely we still get around them. As long as you subscribe, as long as you check these videos out, the channel will keep growing, and we'll get this word out, and we'll get everybody to start purging the BS. Because there's so much of it out there. So much of it out there. So before I get out of here, like I do, I got to give my shout outs to my folks that stopped in the chat today, especially Sonny Bricks for the super chat earlier. And special shouts to I Am Z in the chat, Al Bond in the chat, Grush Diva in the chat, Alien in the chat, Freezy in the chat. Shouts to Freezy. I'm gonna try to redirect to Freezy at some point. I think y'all need to check out his show. I love what he does over there. Sebastian Pelega, Jack 263, and anybody else that stopped in. Trump will win. I feel like Purple Groovy may have been here, maybe not. I don't know, but Purple Groovy's always welcome on our chat. And if you were one of the people that came in and you're just watching, that's great. I appreciate the support, but make sure you hit the like button. Make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you check out www.freemansvcs.org/shop and check out our merchandise, because we don't just put on clothing, we make a statement. And if you're not willing to come out here in this world, establish your lines and make a statement, then that, my friends, is the bullshit. And we out. Done with y'all.